Thanks for staying with us. South Africa is finally being taken off the controversial red list set out by the United Kingdom. This after more than 5 months on the list, with travel restrictions stretching as far back as December. Now, from this coming Monday, fully vaccinated travellers from South Africa will be allowed to enter the UK without needing to quarantine. The move is also expected to bring a significant boost to South Africa's tourism industry, which has been devastated by the dramatic reduction in visitors. For reaction now, we're joined by Monica Ewell. She's the Chief Marketing Officer at Wesgro, and she joins us now from Cape Town. Monica, thank you so much for joining us. They're talking about some 300,000 British passport holders who've got friends and family in South Africa potentially being able to visit. But the removal of South Africa from this list has an even bigger impact, doesn't it?
Yes, no, absolutely. So thank you for having me, and good evening to the viewers. So statistically in the Western Cape province, we annually receive about over 30% of people into the province that visit friends and family. So we're very, very encouraged to hear that actually this year, finally, loved ones will be reunited and will be able to celebrate the festive season together. So that's a very big aspect for us. But of course, also trade routes are very important. You know, the UK is the second largest investor in South Africa, and being able to resume travel between the two countries really is an encouraging sign for our economy in general.
I was just on your website, and on the 6th of October, Wesgro posted the report, Wesgro outlining global opportunities and trade deals for Cape Town and the Western Cape for the 2020-2021 financial year. Talk to me a little bit more just about what this kind of move, removing South Africa from the travel list, that red list, could have. But also, I suppose, just brand South Africa, because people do look at the bigger powers like the UK to make their moves, especially post-pandemic world that we're now entering into.
Absolutely. I mean, the UK has always been such a big partner for South Africa that for, you know, this country in particular to leave us on the red list for so long has been quite mystifying and a little bit worrying for us. So it's really a great news that the UK has welcomed South African travellers to return to them, and also to acknowledge our vaccine status, very importantly, with our new vaccine passport, but also to allow tourism to resume into the country. I mean, the UK is our biggest source market for off the international markets. Close to 450,000 arrivals pre-COVID. And we've been getting some fantastic feedback from the tourism industry just the last couple of days. Demand has surged. They've had the biggest booking days, the biggest inquiry days since pre-pandemic. Airlines are recording massive interests in travel in both directions, South Africans wanting to visit their loved ones in the UK, but also our tourists returning and hopefully starting to contribute back into the economy. In the Western Cape province, tourism is a massive, massive driver of the economy and a massive contributor to lives and livelihoods. So we're really, really encouraged to hear that we are now finally off the red list.
Two of the gems in the Western Cape economic crown, as it were, would be the film industry as well as the wine industry. We're not just talking about tourists visiting wine farms. We're talking about actual wines that are bought from all over the world. What kind of impact could this have on those two very important economic nodes in the Western Cape specifically?
Well, interestingly, our wine exports haven't actually suffered that much through the travel ban period. We've actually still been allowed to export, and we've still very successfully exported wine during the lockdown. But, you know, having these tourists come into the province and having these wine tasting experiences in our beautiful 22 wine routes across the province means that we're able to actually market our product, and it means we're able to put our product on the global map. And so, therefore, we want to be able to accommodate our tourists in this country so that they can come and experience it for themselves here, and then hopefully bring a bottle or maybe 6 back to their loved ones when they go back home.
And the film industry, I thought that was a very interesting angle that one doesn't often think about. And as much as the Cape Town Film Studio said that they've really been booked up since a lot of the restrictions were lifted, one would think that business coming out of the UK will be mostly welcomed now.
Absolutely. So the UK is our second largest source market when it comes to filming inside the province. And certainly the film industry has contributed to the lobbying efforts that have been done to try and get us off the UK red list. And they've been celebrating together with us to be able to welcome these business partners and these opportunities back into the province.
So now the ball is very firmly in the court of businesses and operators here in South Africa. How important is it going to be for those businesses to put their best foot forward, to make sure as much of their staff are vaccinated, so that we can ensure we don't go back on any kind of dreaded list of any kind for a major destination again?
Thank you for bringing that up. Of course, getting our entire nation and certainly the tourism industry vaccinated has to be top priority. And the inbound tourism industry is driving a big campaign called Jab for Tourism. We really need to open ourselves up again. We really need to be able to welcome our tourists back safely. And getting vaccinated is really step one in that process. Encouragingly, though, the inbound industry, and the UK, of course, included in that, oftentimes buys forward, which means that we actually have a forward book. A lot of our tour operators, a lot of hotels, a lot of ground services actually are still holding bookings from pre-pandemic that have been postponed. So hopefully we'll be able to just, and this is the story we're hearing from the operators already, it's just now that the taps have turned back on, there's a lot of people that are phoning back and saying, can I please reinstate my booking? Yes, I'm definitely coming. A lot of short lead time bookings are coming through as well, so it's looking really promising.
Just before I let you go, we're reading more and more now post this decision being made public about the lobbying and the strategizing that went into getting the UK to change its mind about this list, specifically the work being done by an organisation like the SA Tourism Services Association. Their CEO, David Frost, it's being reported, was very, very instrumental in getting that done. And then just the last few weeks, government at a very high level getting involved as well. Do you think that this experience has brought these associations and these businesses closer together to try and put their best foot forward?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Wesgro was lucky enough to participate in the SATSA effort that David Frost spearheaded. So we've really been able to be in the trenches with the SATSA guys over this period, and it's been a real experience. Certainly, I think what it's taught us is that, we're stronger together. And I think that it's created an opportunity for the public and the private space to collaborate, hopefully in a more structured engagement going forward when we encounter these problems again.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. That's Monica Ewell. She is the Chief Marketing Officer at Wesgro, joining us live there from Cape Town.